Hi viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we will discuss about how currency works and the value of currency. Currency value is determined by aggregate supply and demand. Supply and demand are influenced by a number of factors, including interest rates, inflation, capital flow, and money supply. The most common method to value currency is through exchange rates. The two main exchange rate systems are fixed rate and floating rate systems. Currency came around several hundreds of years ago as a means to replace the barter system. Early currencies were commodity money, meaning they derived intrinsic value from the precious metals they were made of. However, the impracticality of commodity money created the shift towards representative money that lacks intrinsic value but is backed by its ability to be traded for a physical commodity. The most notable use of representative money is under the gold standard, where each country's currency is tied to a fixed amount of gold. The drawbacks of the gold standard became clear during World War I. In the wake of government deficit during the war, many countries were forced to abandon the rigid gold standard to print money freely. Following World War II and the Vietnam War, representative money was officially abandoned globally in 1971. The end of representative money ushered in our current form of currency, fiat money. Fiat money does not possess intrinsic value, nor it is backed by commodities. Rather, its value is determined by supply and demand, backed by the creditworthiness of the issuing government. It eases the severity of crisis compared to under-representative money because the government is able to print more currency. On a fundamental level, currency value is determined by supply and demand, both domestic and foreign. Increased demand appreciates the currency value, while increased supply decreases the currency value. Many factors may affect currency value, such as interest rates. Currencies of countries offering high interest rate tend to increase in value, all else being equal. Inflation. High inflation erodes the purchasing power of the currency holder and increases the cost of local goods. Capital flow. Capital flow represents a large portion of the demand for currency. Large amounts of capital inflow going into country appreciate the currency, while capital outflow depreciates the currency. Money supply. Money supply refers to the money within a country at a given point in time. The higher the money supply, the lower the currency value, and vice versa. The most common way to measure currency value is by measuring its convertibility to other currencies, also known as the exchange rate. Since the end of the gold standard in 1971, the majority of the world's currency has adopted one of the two exchange rate systems. Number 1, fixed exchange rate. A fixed exchange rate is when one country pegs its currency to an anchor currency so that both currencies move identically. Countries that opt for a fixed exchange rates are usually developing countries seeking currency stability. The most common anchor currency is the US dollar, since it is relatively stable and considered a safe haven in crisis. The downside is that countries with a fixed exchange rate give up their policy independence and suffer with low free trade and liquidity. Number 2, floating exchange rate. A floating exchange rate involves letting the foreign exchange market determine currency value with respect to the supply and demand of other currencies. Countries under a floating rate system may experience higher exchange rate volatility but also benefit from exercising more autonomy over their economic policies and trade activities and enjoy higher liquidity. So all these are the points from how currency work and the value of currency. I hope you like my video. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you.